Welcome to the School of Love, the place where miracles are normal. Hello, and welcome to the School of Love, the place where we learn practical tools based on scientific research and our own experiences towards improving ourselves, living life to its fullest, and contributing to the best of our abilities to the world around us. I'm Dr. Grajdian, and I am a professor of media studies and anthropology at Hiroshima University. In my free time, I am doing my best to guide you in building up a life of contentment, joy, and fulfillment, while applying lessons learned in school to overcome the difficulties, challenges, and insecurities of the real world. Today's video is part of a new series on the changing world order and its impact on regular citizens like you and me. I have been reading Ray Dalio's book, Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order, published initially in November 2021, and it made me ponder on what it means for regular citizens like you and me that the entire world is undergoing dramatic changes which we cannot influence at all, but which are crucially impacting our own lives and the future. In today's video on the changing world order and its impact on regular citizens like you and me, I share my thoughts on interhuman relationships and the manner in which these are changing themselves under the pressure on individuals to continuously challenge and reinvent themselves. Enormously long life expectancies, unimaginable less than 4-5 decades ago, bring with them particular questions and preoccupations which have a huge influence on interhuman relationships. So what precisely is happening, and what can we as individuals and as a collective do about it? This video explores this question on a personal level. And now, first things first, that is, the important disclaimers. The first disclaimer serves to strongly emphasize the fact that this YouTube channel, the School of Love, is not part of my educational and research activities at Hiroshima University. It is nonetheless part of my privilege, joy, and sense of duty to propagate and implement knowledge, information, as well as inspiration and motivation outside the limited framework of academic endeavors. Together, we can build up a better tomorrow for as many of us as possible. The second disclaimer relates to the fact that I am a trained musician and musicologist, not a psychologist, therapist, or counselor. The ideas I am sharing in my videos reflect my deep-going preoccupation with life, my own life and other people's lives, and express the results of my experiences, research, and for better or for worse, my failures, as well as my recovery from those failures, recovery which is still ongoing. The ideas expressed in the videos on this channel, named the School of Love, cannot and may not and must not replace the consultation with specialists in whichever areas of your life you might have questions or you might struggle with. If you are new to this channel, at this moment I would like to ask you to please consider subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting. Thank you very, very much. This helps us not only with that mysterious algorithm which seems to dominate the YouTube galaxy, but also with contributing to the expansion of the community of humans doing their best to impact positively the world and those around them by discovering their authentic selves and living life wholeheartedly. Thanks again. So how do interhuman relationships change, and the manner in which we are interacting with each other actually is changing under the pressure on individuals to invent and reinvent themselves throughout several decades of life. So I will start by talking very briefly about what it means to live such long lives. We are, of course, very happy to live as long as possible. Death and the death drive, as Sigmund Freud put it, are one of those elements in our lives which we cannot really deal with, and we are scared of death. We want to be immortal, and one of humanity's oldest dreams is to discover immortality. And in probably all major religions, this is what they sell to their to those who join them, is that after physical death there is immortality. There is a heavenly space in which we all live an immortal life, eternal beings. And of course, the price for that is to listen to what they tell us and how they prescript our lives in here and now. Personally, I don't buy into this anymore. When I was younger or when I was a child, I was very much influenced by religion, but nowadays I'm just thinking, well, I'm too pragmatic and down to earth to rely on life after death to live. I will do my best to live here and now. So how do interhuman relationships change? Interhuman interactions change when we live such long lives. One very important thing, which I actually read in a book by Isaac Asimov, I think it was The Robots on Solarium, The Robots of Dawn, when, humans, so these spatials, living there, they could live like hundreds of years, 300-400 of years. And one of the main characters says, when you live such long lives, you lose a lot. There are so many people you get to know, and then you estrange yourself from them, because this is just the way things work. So one of the first things which change in interhuman relationship, interhuman interaction, is the fact that we get to know much more people, and we get to lose contact with much more people than ever before. And this brings with it a sense of cynicism. After a specific age, let's say 40 or even 50, a person knows love doesn't last forever. No. Friendships don't last forever. It's not only that people die, it's that people stay alive and we do not keep in touch with them anymore. Children grow up and go away and live their own lives, and hopefully we have the maturity to let them go and to allow them to live their own lives without us interfering and telling them what to do. I think that one of the most powerful impact the changing world order has on us is the fact that a specific cynicism is developed in relation to interhuman interactions. We know nothing lasts forever. Like the song of Guns N' Roses, nothing lasts forever, not even cold November rain. Yeah? So both the good and the bad things come and go. Well, as humans, we tend to focus on the good not lasting forever, on the bad being more happening more often than actually we'd like it to. So this sense of cynicism, and people after a specific age, in my generation, after a specific age, we start to avoid getting too close to others, because we know sooner or later this interaction will fade away anyway. Sooner or later this interaction will break apart anyway. The danger I see is not my generation or previous generations. The danger I see is generations which come after us, which develop this sense of cynicism much earlier. So if I've developed it maybe in my 40s, mid-40s, but young people develop it already in their teens or earlier. They start to understand that every friendship will eventually either fade away or break apart. Every romantic relationship, nothing lasts forever. It's impossible. We as humans were not hardwired for that type of connection which lasts decades. Marriage was built up, was created as a phenomenon. When people used to live 20, 25 years, the most, in best case scenario, in which they survived infancy and adolescence. So, and younger generations see our sense of cynicism, and they take it over much earlier than we did. We couldn't take it over because we didn't have a model ahead of us. In our case, it developed organically. In their case, it develops because of us. So this, I would say, this is the point where we have to be the most careful. This is the point where we must be very aware that if we allow this sense of cynicism, any relationship fades away eventually, any relationship breaks apart eventually. The next generation will take this over as a fact and will not allow itself. The individuals of the next generations will not allow themselves, not even the chance, to connect to other people, to see other people as individual humans who are looking for connection. And connection, is one of the most fundamental needs of the humans. Belonging, attachment. This is what Gabor Mate writes so beautifully, that children, when they're small and later on as well, there are two fundamental needs: attachment and authenticity. But without attachment, without healthy attachment in our early childhood, and throughout our entire lives, we cannot develop a healthy sense of authenticity, which then leads to autonomy, a healthy sense of autonomy and individualism. Individualism as belonging to a greater whole without losing oneself in that greater whole. So this is how I think the changing world order is impacting interhuman interactions the most, or interhuman relationships the most. The development, the emergence of this sense of cynicism, that regardless what we do, every human we're getting to know will eventually fade away. Every interaction will eventually break apart if it doesn't fade away. So why bother? But we have to keep up the hope. We have to keep up the understanding, the comprehension that we need connection. We need attachment so that we become healthy individuals, belonging and self-aware of their belonging to a greater whole. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to me. I hope I have delivered some insightful ideas into what it means to live in times of change and turmoil. And I'm looking forward to welcoming you here very soon again. Love and peace to you all.